Greetings. I am the narrator, and I am back with this very special edition of a random horror. A random horror narration special presentation, that's right. But it is a Halloween edition. So be sure to sit tight, relax, and enjoy this Halloween tale that I am about to tell you. It is The House on Halloween Night, which was written by our boss, Random Ross. Enjoy it. October 30th, present day. Four friends coming home from school, greatly anticipating Halloween, as they also purchased their costumes, are all excited about what they will do on that night, collecting candy and pulling some pranks. However, there is one house on their street that has been abandoned for over 30 years. The four of the friends, Pete, Vince, Chris, and Johnny, walk by the house. Pete asking, "So do you know what happened there?" Chris then says, "I believe it's haunted." Then Vince goes, "I heard that it was just a cult." "Well, I heard that it was a tragic accident," said Johnny. Then a creepy groundskeeper, who was the landlord of the property, then said, "It was a house fire on Halloween night. You know, on Halloween, the barriers between the living and the dead are at their thinnest. It's one of those 2 nights a year." "What's the other night?" one of the boys ask. The landlord says, "Christmas Eve. Yes, tomorrow night, the ghosts and ghouls will be all out and you may not even notice." "You're saying that ghosts walk among us?" asked Pete. "Not just ghosts, but other supernatural monsters. You see, Halloween, they can truly be themselves. Because everyone wears a costume, you don't know which is the true monster." "Right," said Chris. "You know, we're all 12. You know we don't believe in that stuff." Now we should believe in that stuff," said Vince. "Yeah," said Johnny. Fine. There are ghosts, I guess. But how do we know for sure?" "Oh, believe me, boys, there are ghosts," said the landlord. The next day, October 31st, Halloween. The boys get into their costumes, all prepped and ready to go. Pete dresses up as Frankenstein's monster, while Vince dresses up as Dracula. Vince dresses as the Wolfman, and Johnny as the Mummy, saying, "Let's go out there and get some candy." They go around the neighborhood and other estates, collecting candy like any kids would, with some local kids throwing eggs and playing other pranks and tricks, and even at one point running into trouble with some other local kids. But the night turns out as a success, as they plan to enjoy their candy. However, as they're walking home, they notice the house that they passed. Johnny saying, "Guys, look, isn't that the house that we saw yesterday? Yeah, there seems to be a party going on. Do you think we should go up there? Nah, said Pete. It'll be full of older kids. I guess there's no harm in looking, said Johnny. Oh, fine guys, let's go up and look. All four of the boys going up, they look around and see that the house doesn't look as run down as it did the day before. They are then about to knock on the door, but then it opens, where there is a young teen woman dressed as a witch, saying, "What are you boys doing?" Then one of them says, "No one's really been in this house since 1994. 1994? Said this girl dressed as a witch. Yeah, 30 years ago on this very night, this place burnt down. Well, there's nothing going on now. So you want to come in or what? Are we a bit young? Don't worry, just stick to cake and soda and you'll be fine." The boys then enter and see that everyone is having a good time, dancing to music, and all wearing Halloween costumes. The boys then go, "You guys notice anything strange?" "Yeah, a party is here. I wonder if that landlord guy knows." Yeah. "Hey look, Coca-Cola." They look at some of the soda pop, noticing that some of the brands and the cans look outdated for its time. "Guys, haven't you noticed something? All the music that's playing, it's all 90s music." "Yeah, and? But look at all these cans on the sodas and the beers. They stopped making these labels years ago." The boys then look around the house, where they see young people doing what teenagers do, drinking, making out, all in Halloween costumes. As they explore the house, they find that it's all fine, and not one bit of it's run down or burnt up like it should be. "What is it that the landlord said?" said Vince. "Oh, come on," said Chris. "You don't really believe that these are ghosts." "I'm just saying, he did say that monsters walk among us on Halloween. What if this is so?" "Don't be daft." They then open some doors, where they find a few rooms, some containing Halloween decorations, and then they open one room, where they find it is all run down and burnt up. Creeped out by it, the boys then close the door and go back downstairs. Then one of the partygoers, dressed as a high school zombie, says to Johnny, "Hey, mummy kid, is that toilet paper wrapped around you? Well, it'd be a shame to waste good bandages. Could you guys get me some soda? It should be in the basement. I'm kind of busy channeling this girl." "But hey guys, come on, I'll make it worth your while. How does $5 sound?" "Okay," the boys said. "Hey guys, come on, he says he'll give us $5 each." So then, Pete, Vince, Chris and Johnny made their way down to the basement of the house. That is when they started to hear something unnerving, some chanting. That is where they then hide out and watch what's going on. They see some other people, some kids dressed as, well, what look like witches. Thinking, what are they doing? I don't know, some really weird, messed up ritual. Yeah. Then, next thing. They then see one of the people in the robes pull out a knife, then stab a volunteer, tearing out his heart, going, "Oh my god, guys, they just killed him. Nah, they can't. This is all fake." Then they notice these witch people looking at them. The four boys run as fast as they could after they noticed that they walked in on a sacrificial ritual. Running past the partygoers, the same guy dressed as the high school zombie was like, "Hey, you little dudes, get me my beers." Then, running out of the house, they then go onto the front yard, where they encounter the landlord saying, "What are you boys doing?" "Sir, you don't understand. We just witnessed a murder." "A murder?" "Yeah." "Now calm down, boys. There's nothing going on. The only people that have been in that house, my house, were you four." The boys then say, "But no, look, there's a party going on." They then look and see that the house is run down and burnt. Going inside, they see that it's all run down and burnt, and there's nothing there to suggest that there was ever a party. The boys then say, "What the hell's going on?" The landlord then says, "Come on, boys. I'll buy you all a soda or something." At the local diner, the landlord tells the boys the truth, saying, "I bought the property 29 years ago, a year after that tragedy happened. See, I was a paranormal investigator, and the owners wanted to sell up and move away after the tragedy that happened, and I volunteered to buy the house out of curiosity. 30 years ago, in that house on Halloween night, there was a Halloween party happening, but in the basement, there was a satanic ritual unfolding. No one really knows what happened to those 6 friends that were performing this ritual, but some say they performed a ritual sacrifice from one of them volunteering, and they opened a gateway to hell. And as they opened that gateway to hell, they walked through it and a fire broke out. I don't know how much of that is true with the whole gateway to hell, but the house did light on fire. The police and the fire brigade only had enough evidence to suggest it was an accident. But every Halloween night since, every now and then, kids have said they've seen the house lit up with a Halloween party. And I tell them the very thing I told you. The barriers between the living and the dead are at their thinnest, and monsters can all walk among us. And that's what they are. Ghosts, recreating their final moments unaware that they're dead. Did you notice anything about the house? Like, things they were doing, that it was like all 90s attire? Yes, we did, said Vince. But did they ever catch the friends that did this ritual? Asked Pete. No, boys, they didn't. As I said, the police suggest and can only believe and assume that it was an accident. Someone knocked over a candle or lit a cigarette. They're not exactly sure how the fire started, but they know it started in the basement. Well, said Chris, let's just agree to respect that house from now on. And every Halloween, think of those that lost their lives that night. I think that's a good idea, said Johnny. Well, you boys best run along home. Your parents will probably be wondering where you are. We will, sir. Oh, and happy Halloween, boys. The boys also wish him a happy Halloween. The four boys return to their homes, with their parents been wondering where the hell they've been, saying that they got sidetracked and they wanted to stay out a bit late, as it was Halloween. Whilst the landlord returned to the estate and looked up at the house, where he then looked and saw that the house was partying again. Looking at his watch, seeing it was 11 o'clock in the PM, he then says, "One more hour and then it's midnight and Halloween will be over, and you spirits can rest again for another year." Yes. My house. The house on Halloween night. And there you go. Did you enjoy this special edition of a story being told? Did you suspect any twists or turns? I bet you did, but if you didn't, well, was it shocking? I don't know. I've just told the story. You've been listening to it. Anyway, yes, that's it for this one. So, be sure to like, share, comment, subscribe, and hit that notification bell, and to check out all of the social media links for Random Horror linked down below. As I said, I hope you've enjoyed this tale, and it's time for me to go and lay dormant again until I am needed. I have been the narrator, and this has been a Random Horror Narration Halloween special presentation. So, happy Halloween, and until next time, don't have nightmares.